Rouse's is proud of the creativity and the unparalleled entertainment in New Orleans, and honored to highlight it with their sponsorship of Steppin Out on WYES.
Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
With a lifetime of passion for public television, we're pleased to help underwrite Steppin Out.
Please join us in supporting WYES TV.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Hi, Miss Poppy.
Hello, Peg.
Hey there. And it's so great to see once again New Orleans soprano and St. Louis Cathedral Sacred Music Director Sarah Jane McMahon. Hi, Sarah Jane.
Hi, Peggy. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course, and she'll be previewing a concert that is this weekend. And we also have with us performance and visual artist Jose Torres-Tama, who has a brand new show this weekend at the Ashe-Powerhouse Theatre. Hello, good to see you.
Great to see you, and thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you. And glad he's back, Alan Smason from the Great White Way, Broadway, and of course Crescent City Jewish News and theatercriticism.com. Howdy, Alan.
Hey.
Hello. Poppy, some local chefs are doing what they can to aid the hungry in the Ukraine.
Well, Peg, last week we talked about Creole Concepts stepping up to send help to the Ukraine. And now, this week, I want to tell everybody about a very special offer. And this is for an in-home private feast that is currently up at auction. Now, the chefs that are coming together for this, what an unlikely group, I think. It's Isaac Toops, of course, of Toops Meadery, Mason Hereford of Turkey and the Wolf and Molly's Rise and Shine fame, and also that fabulous Nina Compton from Compare Le Pen and Bywater American Bistro, James Beard Award winner that she is. And so this is for a dinner party for up to 10 people, benefiting Jose Andreas World Central Kitchen, Chefs for Ukraine. And the bidding is open now. The bidding starts at $10,000, and there is an opening $10,000 bid. And this auction is open for anybody, anywhere. If you're sending them out of Louisiana, you're going to have to pay for the travel expenses. But what an incredible evening that's going to be. So start bidding, and goodness knows the bidding is already starting high. So now I also want to talk about, it's springtime. We're all thinking about putting our bathing suits on, and the Virgin Hotels Pool Club is kicking off on April the 16th from 1 until 4 p.m. This is that gorgeous space they've got up on the 13th floor at the Virgin Hotel. They're partnering with Hendrick's Gin, who is offering a new limited edition sea-inspired gin called Neptunia. So there'll be tastings and there'll be Hendrick's cocktails. Boyfriend is performing up there at the pool. A pool pass is $25, and there'll be cocktails, bar bites by Chef Alex Harrell, and it's bound to be a good time. I'll tell you what, I think the Virgin Pool Club is going to be the place to be seen this summer.
Thank you so much. And now moving over to Alan, we still got some Tennessee Williams around.
You know, the old adage, imitation the sincerest form of flattery. Well, if that is the truth, then satire must be the epitome of adoration. Once again, the Tennessee Williams Theater Company proves that there's no Tennessee Williams character immune to being satirized. For whom the Southern Belle tolls host Christopher Durang's clever conceit is brilliantly played by the actors who question the mendacity, or should we say the womendacity, of Williams's most enduring characters. Now, two of these one-act plays are by famed playwright Christopher Durang, Desire, 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 and For Whom the Southern Bell Tolls. And these gender-bending performances bring humor to Tennessee fans who, accustomed as they are to themes of a darker nature involving sexuality, desire, madness, and addiction. Tracy Collins there plays Amanda Wing Valley. Her son Lawrence, who you see here, played by Roman Ellis, is both physically and mentally deficient, playing with his collection of glass cocktail stirrers, an obvious send-up of the Glass Menagerie. And Matthew Rates plays Tom Wing Valley there on the left, who brings home a caller for Lawrence, a fellow factory worker named Virginia Bennett, who goes by the name of Ginny, and may be the most masculine character in the play. This is the longest of the works presented on the program. It's directed by Augustin Carrero. His co-artistic director, Nick Shackelford, provides the sound design, and Steve Schepker provides the scenic design. Diane Bass does the lighting. It's no accident that Desire, 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 which parodies Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire, led off the evening. That's because Breland Leon there plays Blanche Dubois, and only be cooled off by beer poured by Stanley Kowalski over her very large body. And of course, Stanley is played by Mary Langley. But look out. There's some crossover, too, from Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, with Collins playing Big Daddy, and not one but two different Maggies. The final short work of the night is Roberto Aguirre Sarcasa's group. It's called Swamp Gothic, and those people are basically doing a mixture of Williams' Suddenly Last Summer, Swamp Thing, and The Walking Dead, plus a healthy dash of voodoo thrown in with some heavy male bonding. That's For Whom the Southern Bell Tolls. The production ends this weekend. Check it out. And also next door to them on the Loyola campus at the Marquette Theatre, Head Over Heels is showing. This is based on the Philip Sidney play from Shakespeare's time of the Countess of Pembroke's Arcadia. It's been adapted by Jeff Whitty and James Magruder. The cast is really exuberant, and besides brilliant choreography by Jeanne Buisson, it's directed by Broadway alum Hardy Weaver, a New Orleans native. Special note of the many costumes that are rendered for this are done by Casey Thomasy, with assistance by Roger Boucher, including lots of special shoes and boots and all kinds of great wigs by Chloe Dehan and Justice Mosley. You're literally going to go head over heels over this piece, and essentially allows love to cross many different spectrums with wonderful songs like We Got the Beat and Vacation by the Go-Go's. Congratulations to Patrick Gendusa, who's probably the biggest Go-Go fan out there. John Graneri, by the way, who is going to be attending the show, was the New Orleanian who drove out to Los Angeles and discovered the Go-Go's and had them signed to A&M Records. He's going to be seeing the show again this weekend, and check that out. Meanwhile, Peggy, last two shows I want to mention right now. Cinderella opens at the JPAC. JPAS is doing that. And, of course, Tribes is opening at the Le Petit Theatre for that comedy as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Alan. Over to Sarah Jane. And Sarah Jane, you are wearing, in the past few years, and I did not realize, not only do you have a beautiful soprano voice and perform all over the country in operas and concerts, but you're also conducting, and you have a special directorship at St. Louis Cathedral. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, this is a new role that I'm filling. I was asked to fill the position of the Director of Sacred Music at the Cathedral this past October. It's been such an honor, and it's really been a big job, because I had to rebuild the choir, from COVID. The choir had disbanded, and so now I've rebuilt it, and I'm always recruiting, and I'm just so thrilled with the members we now have. They have beautiful voices and just such nice people.
And you have a special concert before, and we'll tell you about that. You just saw a little bit of a preview. But first, you did send us, though, an excerpt of your conducting and performing during the Christmas choir. Here is Sarah Jane conducting the St. Louis Cathedral Orchestra and Choir in an excerpt from their Christmas concert, the Hallelujah Chorus, of course, from Haydn's The Messiah. wow. Well, we certainly know the voices that we'll be hearing on Sunday, and of course, that's for more information about yourself. And but what a wonderful new thing to take on here.
They sound so wonderful. I'm excited about the concert on Sunday.
So it's Sunday at 5 o'clock. It is free. And once again, tell us what the music will be.
Yes, it's a Lenten reflection. It's the 7 Last Words of Christ by Dubois. I hope it will be a beautiful way to bring us into Holy Week. We have Paul Groves as the tenor soloist, Dennis Jesse as the baritone. I will share the soprano solos with our wonderful section leader, Isabella Vanderhoof, and I will also conduct the choir, the orchestra, and I just hope everyone can join us. It'll be about an hour long, and please bring your family and friends.
That's great. And you were there every week anyway, aren't you?
I am. I'm there every week. I cantor every other Sunday. Amy Frimmer is our other wonderful cantor who cantors for Sunday Masses, but I conduct the choir every Sunday at 11 o'clock.
Oh, Sarah Jane, it's so great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Peggy.
Of course.
Oh, and I wanted to tell you, there's a spot for you in the chorus when you're ready to join.
Thank you. I would not be worthy, but thank you.
Just let me know.
Okay. And moving over to Jose. Jose, I know, my goodness, you're such a busy guy, and of course, first and foremost, a performance artist, but also really a visual artist as well. But you have a project that's been many years in the making, and you're going to open at the Powerhouse Theatre right behind you, huh, Ashe?
Yes. So I'm an interdisciplinary troublemaker. You know, I use the arts as a platform to raise social consciousness, and I'm so excited because this project has been 2 years in the pandemic delays, right? So United States of Amnesia, Dare to Remember, because I think the most radical thing an artist or an activist can do right now is remember. It's the people's history that often challenges the official lies. But this is being done with a magical realist Latino voodoo aesthetics at the Ashe-Powerhouse at 1731 Baronne Street. And I am so excited, Peggy, because I'm working again with the fabulous John Grimsley. He's back in town for this. Oh, yeah. I mean, John is amazing, right? And he's the one that's helping me create the Latino voodoo magical realist aesthetics, whatever that means, right?
Well, Jose, I know, of course, that it's very serious and various serious topics, but you sometimes interject humor, too.
Oh, absolutely. This piece is driven by humor. It's the best way to seduce audiences to go into some more challenging places. But humor is always a big part of my work because one has to have, as always within theater or performance, the tragedy with the comedy. So it's very much a satiristic piece looking at the United States history. And it's got these comic elements that come out of nowhere. And, you know, I put on different voices. It's part of my performance toolkit.
Right. And also, let's talk about your visual side, because you are indeed a very talented visual artist, and there's more, of course, at your website. But we wanted to show some of the work of the last few years, and a few years ago you had an exhibit at the Ogden. Now, you said you're teaching art over there these days, too,
Yes.
huh?
One of the early Marie Laveau's was just on exhibit at the Ogden Museum as part of a project called Southern Art and Social Justice. And I've been teaching there, and this is the piece that was actually at the Ogden Museum. It's in their permanent collection. This is my ode to Marie Laveau. It's the first piece that I did of the iconic, you know, voodoo priestess, Marie Laveau, the most famous and iconic mythic free woman of color. And she lives somewhere between folk, myth, fact, and fiction. And then, of course, this is my version of Louis Armstrong. And actually, I did this piece way back in the day when they had the Louis Armstrong the Satchmo Festival Art Contest, and this one won the Best of Show a number of years ago. So thank you for showing us, because for those that may be interested, the art prints are on my art store at torrestama.com/art store.
I have one of them, and I'm very proud. I love especially the Marie Laveau, but they're all great. And once again, in terms of your performance, ashenola.org for tickets.
Yes.
And once again, you're a busy bee between teaching and performing, and I know it all takes a lot of energy, and you're fighting the good fight. So.
Well, you know, the pandemic wiped out so much work that I'm glad, I'm excited. The first time I was teaching at the Ogden, actually, in like 3 years, so I'm very excited. Very excited to be on the stage with a show that's been delayed, too. And I wanted to just give a shout out to the Ashe Cultural Arts Center for supporting my work. This is the second piece they've commissioned, and it was Mama Carol Babel who actually, wanted to support this work. So I'm deeply grateful. And for those of you who have not been, the Ashe-Powerhouse is a regal place.
It's a great space.
Yes,
Yeah.
1731 Baronne Street.
And there's parking. There's parking. So
There's parking, yes. So
it's good
thank
to know,
you.
too. Of course. And moving back over to Poppy for just a minute.
Well, the high holidays are coming, as Sarah Jane just reminded us, and this is for everybody because what a coincidence. Good Friday also happens to be the first night of Passover this year. And so I wanted to let everybody know that Alon Shaya is ready to make your Seder special this year with matzah, red and white horseradish, Yemenite curried egg salad, and this is this whole Seder supper to go that you can pick up at Saba. Parsley and quinoa tabbouleh, Sephardic style haricot, duck matzo ball soup. Oh, I want that. Slow cooked brisket with saffron rice and a flourless almond cake for dessert. So what a treat. And you can pick it up to go between the 15th and the 17th at Saba. Then it's Easter, of course, coming right after everything gets kicked off with the Seder supper. And so I wanted to recommend the Easter brunch at Josephine Estelle at the Ace Hotel. It is such a beautiful, bright space to have brunch in, and they're offering a 4-course prefix menu that includes yummy things like marinated crab claws in a rosé beurre blanc, pan-seared fish with spring peas and a lemon vinaigrette. There is grilled Wagyu steak on the offering or a country breakfast, assorted pastries for the whole table, and the dessert. Oh, holy moly, ricotta panna cotta with orange blossom and baklava crumble.
Holy moly is right.
Doesn't that sound delicious?
It really does. Thank you so much, Poppy. And back over to Alan. You were in NYC. I'm so jealous.
I've just returned again from Broadway, and just like I returned back in December, it seems like a few shows are being affected by COVID on the rise again. This had not been the case, though, for the week I was there last week when I took Tony Award winner Katie Huff with me. Of course, Katie won the Tony for the producers, and she was a major dancer, so I wanted to take her to go see the wonderful Michael Jackson show, again, MJ, the musical. This is an incredibly accurate musical. It will blow Michael Jackson fans away. And by the way, this is the show about the other artist that wore just one glove, Jose. Of course, the biggest show on Broadway is The Music Man, starring Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster at the Winter Garden. Hugh does make an appearance usually after each show to acknowledge his fans, but does not sign due to the COVID situation. But occasionally, you can even get Hugh, the star, to get out and photobomb the fans for stepping out, which is what he did here for me. Thank you very much, Hugh. Also about to open off-Broadway is our local star, Brian Batt, who plays in J.C. Lee's To My Girls, a very funny play about gay life in a California Airbnb owned by Brian's character. Brian was kind to pose for a shot with yours truly. And then last week, right after that, I went over to see a show by Ann Tallman. Ann was basically doing a show with Alex Rybeck called The Shadow of Her Smile, about her being cast in The Little Foxes as Elizabeth Taylor's daughter and maintaining a friendship with her for the rest of her life. That's Austin Pendleton on the left. That was the man who cast her in The Little Foxes so long ago. And so he was in the show that night. Some of you may recognize him from the role of the stuttering lawyer in My Cousin Vinny. Lastly, I was able to see Barry Manilow and Bruce Sussman's musical that was also directed by Warren Carlyle, the guy that also directed The Music Man. It's a brilliant tale called Harmony with gorgeous music, tremendous choreography. It's going to be a big hit either off or on Broadway in the coming months. I really urge everybody to keep an eye out for that one. Now, meanwhile, Peggy, locally, very few seats are available for Rivertown's production of Nonsense 2. Check the website or call them for availability for the bifurcated show that actually starts this week and then takes a week off for Easter before returning. And also, I wanted to remind everybody that Adriana Hicks, who plays Catherine of Aragon in the musical Six on Broadway, will be Seth Rudetsky's guest this Sunday night. Adriana will be the last guest on the show for a while Seth takes a much-needed break for several weeks.
He is the Energizer Bunny, isn't he?
He's going to be
You
on
and
some
him.
cruises that they're going to have.
Oh, lucky him. That sounds great. Thank you so much, Alan. And on to a more somber note, this week we lost Chris Owens, the city's legendary entertainer who presented a great music show at her Bourbon Street nightclub for over 65 years. Here is an excerpt from the WYES documentary Bourbon Street, the Neon Strip.
Still providing the nightclub-style entertainment that has all but vanished from the street is Chris Owens. Since 1958, the shapely Owens has shaped her show into a Las Vegas act that continues to draw visitors. Formerly a nurse, Owens got into the business because of what she and her late husband enjoyed doing in their spare time.
Our fun then was to go out dancing, to the point that people would come like to the Fountain Lounge of the Old Roosevelt Hotel to see us dance. And so when we had the club, it was like a party every night for me. It was like I was going to have a party, till people started saying we wanted to see her, and it was like by popular demand that I then started entertaining.
What music was hot at that time?
Latin music, very hot.
After 35 years, Latin music is hot again. Chris Owens has continued to turn up the heat all that time.
And we will certainly miss Chris Owens. And what a wonderful lady she was. And her show was classy, very, very, very classy. And of course, she also started an Easter parade. And my understanding is that they are going to continue with that parade. And look at that, Alan.
Yeah.
When was that taken?
Yeah, well, that was not too long ago. That was right as we were emerging from the very beginning of the pandemic. I got a chance to get a picture with her. And I should also tell you, Peggy, Chris got in a cab and performed for my father's installation as the potentate of the Jerusalem Temple Shriners, paid for the cab herself, and then drove herself back down and did the late show on Bourbon Street. She was just such a lovely lady.
An amazing lady.
And you know, we would also be remiss if we didn't mention Jermaine Wells, who actually started the first of the Easter parades, and that Chris had taken it up. And
that one continues as well. It's two different ones.
Beautiful.
It's amazing. Yes, and now, though, it's time for our picks of the week. Sarah Jane.
Oh, Easter Sunday, you can tune in at 11 a.m. at WLAE for Mass at the Cathedral. We'll have a brass quintet, the choir, and we'll also have world-famous Nadja Salerno Sonnenberg on violin.
Wow. Oh, you could also go to the Mass, too,
And you can go to the Mass, too. Yes,
exactly.
Please. We would love that even more.
Sure. Jose.
Hey, so this same weekend, Kathy Randalls is performing with the graduates at this Contemporary Arts Center, and it's the work that she's been doing for quite some time, working with women in incarceration. So it's a neat weekend where you can come and see maybe my show, States of Amnesia, on Friday, and then go see Kathy Randalls on Saturday with the graduates at the CAC.
Thank you. And Poppy.
Well, if you were part of the Great Resignation and you're casting about for a new career and you love wine, NOCI, the New Orleans Culinary and Hospitality Institute, is now offering wine professional certification courses. Their first one, it's going to be Sundays, starting on May 16th through June the 26th.
All right. And Alan.
I'll have what she's having. Sorry, due to circumstances beyond my control, I will be unable to present a review for Anastasia, but the Stephen Flaherty and Lynn Ahrens musical Anastasia is currently playing at the Stanger Theatre. That's the national tour. It plays through Sunday, and as always, I'll see you at the theater.
And Alan, I did get to see it, and of course, it was a fine production. And you know, that music and that show is not very old. It's from 2016, and lots of bright spots in it too. I wasn't as familiar with it, but what a production and what a voice she has as well.
And of course, it's based on the animated film that was done, which starred Liz Calloway as the singing voice, and I believe the speaking voice was by Meg Ryan.
That's right. And also, I did not know that the book, so I'm a little late to comer here, right? The book was by Terrence McNally. I had no idea. So anyway, thank you. And now my picks, the Friends of the Lafitte Greenway and the New Orleans Recreation Development Commission. They're presenting an Easter extravaganza. There are quite a few around town, but this one in particular is at the Lafitte Greenway, and it starts at 10 a.m. It's free, and that is at 1971 St. Louis. And that is right there along the Greenway at South Prairie, but there are also ones on General Meyer at Morris XF Jeff and General Meyer, and also Joe Brown Park in New Orleans East. But look for that. And the Lafitte Greenway is doing such a great job, but they have an Easter egg hunt, an egg toss, bounce houses, and much more. But BYO your own basket. All right. The Piety Market in Exile resumes this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at St. Claude in Spain. Great vintage and artistic creations, food and music. And comedian Chris Champagne has a new show. It's this Sunday at 5 o'clock. It's called Bohemian Rhapsody. It's a lot of local satire. That's Sunday at 5 p.m. at the Garden District Bookshop. That's an interesting venue. And it's recently, you know, the rink has been totally remodeled, so check it out. That's at Washington and Britannia. And before we say goodbye, we also wanted to note the passing of talented pianist and composer A.J. Lauria. Lauria composed our Steppin Out theme and music for many of our local documentaries. He performed around the city for years and in Japan. A devout Catholic, he was the organizer of the Saturday night midnight mass at St. Jude's Church on South Rampart Street that took place for many, many years. He composed music for the liturgy and even produced a CD, which included Aaron Neville on it. Lauria had numerous CDs, and Alan Toussaint was a big fan of AJ's. And we are listening to a bit of AJ's version of the anthem of Mardi Gras, If Ever I Cease to Love. And that is on the Mardi Gras New Orleans CD, Volume 2. So thank you all so very much, and thank you very much for watching. And take a listen to AJ Lauria as we close out tonight. Good night.
If ever I cease to love, if ever I cease to love, if ever I cease to love, may the moon be turned to green cream cheese. If ever I cease to love, she can sing, she can play on the piano, she can jump, she can dance, she can run. For she's a wonderful girlie, she's all of them rolled into one. I adore her beauty, like an angel dropped from above. May the fish get legs and the cows lay eggs, if ever I cease to love. May all dogs wag their tails in front, if ever I cease to love.
Steppin' Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
With a lifetime of passion for public television, we're pleased to help underwrite Steppin' Out.
Please join us in supporting WYES TV.
Rouse's is proud of the creativity and the unparalleled entertainment in New Orleans, and honored to highlight it with their sponsorship of Steppin' Out on WYES.